Welcome back, everybody, to another Icarus Mods video. This is Jim K72. Today I'm going to go over some of the changes I made with my steel Buildables mod. I finished up a lot of the pieces. As you can see on the screen here, I added all the angles, the corner pieces, and all the roofing parts. And I have a couple more mods that are in the works that I'm going to go over. So let's get down to it. The first thing, let me go over here. This is my open world map. So I had the glass pieces, and testing things out, I realized that the game's default glass pieces snap together nice and tight, and the glass pieces that I made fit well together, but once you start putting them in with the game's glass pieces, they just didn't line up right. I didn't like the way they looked, and I know some people might want to do a combination. So I started over again and took all the glass pieces from the game to get their exact geometrical shapes to where I could just mimic them and they would all fit just like the regular game pieces. So basically I had to start over with all the glass pieces, and then while I was at it, I went ahead and did all the steel pieces to match that too. So as you can see, all the angles, the corners, the ramp pieces, the flat pieces, and you'll notice that this isn't just a standard floor piece like the other ones I had on there. This is actually part of the roofing system that I added to the game for my steel buildables. So you can build nice roofs with a clean inside, so you don't have the textures on the bottom. You get a nice clean look inside here. If you'll, let me hop over here. I'll take one of these pieces off so you can kind of see. Make sure I don't have a regular glass piece. Let me come down here and grab a regular glass piece. So I'll grab the game's default glass piece. Alright, so if I remove that and remove that and add the game's pieces, you'll see I redid the game. So when you install the Still Buildables mod, it actually changes all the game's default building pieces to the match, so the texture or the actual metal piece matches the steel pieces. So if you decide to go like with a design like that, you can, and then you'll see the ramp fits in perfectly with all the other pieces. It was a lot of extra work to start over, but I think it's worth it the way it turned out. So now if you want to do like the game's glass pieces or the full ones or any type of combination, you can do that knowing that they all fit together nicely. Nice clean lines, and the glass is the exact same glass texture, so it gives it a nice look. And then the same with the steel. I have all the steel pieces, the inverted pieces, the corner ramp pieces, as you can see, the inverted corner ramp pieces, so you can actually make it go down like an inside corner. And that's pretty much the result. Turned out nice. This is my, like I said, my open world on Prometheus. The location is up in the corner. I tried building down here. I'm on hard mode, and I just kept dying. Even with the air conditioners, once you get overheated, there was nothing I could do to keep my temperature down. I just kept dying. So I abandoned trying to build down there, and I ended up building up here. And this is the result. I've been doing a lot of testing and things and stuff like that. So with that, building in this area, there's no water sources. So like if you go in the caves, you'll notice a lot of the caves don't have water. They just have lava. So I was looking at mods, and I noticed the modder Icarus, I think that's how you pronounce it, had a mod for reasonable water. And there were some problems with it. So I helped them out with fixing it. And I kind of ran with that idea of trying to build a reasonable source that makes sense for water. So I looked up online, you know, how to get water in areas that there's no waters. And one of the things I found was there's a company that comes up with a system kind of like this, a vapor collector, which uses this and the sun and the moisture in the air to collect on these panels, and then as it drips, it works its way down in here. And you can see it has a little spout coming out, and I changed that actually. So if I get rid of that, it now goes right onto the spout. I had to change some numbers on it so it connects it right on the spout like it's supposed to, and the electric now goes right up underneath this high voltage section here when you hook the electricity up to it. It does require 1,000 units of electricity, which I know is a lot, but I mean, you're basically heating up the air to get the moisture out of it. You can see I have smoke plumes coming out. Adds a nice effect to it. It's supposed to look like crumpled aluminum. I mean, that's what it looked like when I looked it up online, is that they had the it looked just like that, sort of, with the aluminum stuff like that to collect it. So this is one of the first things I came up with. And then the second thing, based off, like I said, the modder Icarus, he was just taking the generator and putting it in the ground and then doing all the JSON mods to allow it to give you water. So what I did is went a little bit further, and I created this. It might look a little familiar. It's based off the Thumper. But I took it into Blender and basically tore it all apart and re-put it back together. Changed all the animations on it. Made it a lot smaller. Removed all the extra stuff that you don't really need. And if you look at it, on the side, it has a nice connection here. This is the water tube that comes off the pump system in the top. Comes down into here and ties into your water system. And then the electricity hooks up here, which is the power cord going into the motor system here to run the pump. And you can see the pump's got a nice 3-stage animation. It moves at different levels. The original Thumper had the similar animations. I changed the bottom, and this piece, it just has the top piece just slams up and down. But this, I redid the animations to where all of it is controlled, and this gives 1,000 water and requires 1,000 units of electricity. These aren't released yet. I just have some fine tuning, and I gotta figure out the recipe cost and everything for it to get it all set up. They will be crafted on the fabricator, which is the same as my new large wind turbine. They'll be crafted on here, and then you can see the icon for the vapor collector right there. And I thought I had one of those in inventory. I don't see it. I can pick one of these up so you can kind of see the icon. Yep. There's the icon for it right there. Electric water drill. So you just place it down and connect the electricity. Once you connect the electricity, the animation will start. And then oh, why that's not disappearing. And there you go. It's providing 1,000 water. These are the sinks. I just wanted to make sure that the numbers were right as far as how much it could run. And you can see the animation starts from whenever you connect the power up to it, so they're not always in sync. There you have it. So the next item I'm working on is the large wind turbines. So the wind turbines that come in the game, got my inventory here, let me deploy it out here. I kept having like multiples of these all over the base, and I seen online where people build like huge towers with all these on there. So I wanted to try to make one. There's the icon for it that is about twice as expensive, a little bit more than twice to craft it, but it puts out almost 3 times the power. It's a lot bigger, takes up more room. But just so you don't have like 20 of these things all over your base, I figured it'd be nicer to just have a few really big ones. And as you can see, I have a whole array of them, but this base, everything is powered in here, and I have just about every bench you can think of all powered up and working, plus the air conditioners, all these benches, everything has power to them. Forge, all the stuff up here, the refrigerators, the freezers, the ovens, all have power working to them. And to do that, plus the vapor collector and the 4 pumps in there, in order to do that, even with this multiplier on here putting out 5,000, I still had to use this many. But I know this is, you know, there's a lot of stuff in there, so I understand that I had to use this many. But let me put my new one next to this one. The icon just has the top part of it, because when I did the first icon and put it on there, you couldn't really tell what it looked like. It looked tall and skinny like that because the scaling on it. So I ended up just doing the top part here. So because this is a lot bigger, you'll see it has the cables, support cables for it. And there you can kind of get a view of them side by side. I made the shroud a lot bigger to protect it more. The cables coming off, and then obviously the blades I had to redo, because these blades, you'll notice the texture on them lines up with the inside there. So I originally just scaled it, and I thought it looked weird scaled with just 2 of these when it's that much longer blade. So I kind of wanted them to match in case you use both of them. So this is what I came up with. I just kind of rebuilt it with all 4 on there, and then rebuilt the blades based off of this, and then just retextured them to where those line up for each one, going all the way up and around. And that's basically how it ended up turning. So this one has 1750 and this one gives 5000. So like I said, it's not quite 3 times, but it's pretty close, and it costs a little bit more than double to craft it. And I mean, I think they do look nice. I actually like the way they look better than the original ones in the game. I think the blades, that looks more like a ball, or these actually look more like wind sails, I think. And the system completely works. I mean, everything's still the exact same. I had to redo some numbers on it. But they do obviously work just like this. You know, you get the red if you place it next to it, so you still have to space them out, obviously, like the ones I have here. But so that's basically what I've been working on. I do have some other things I've just started on that I don't have in this map, but I'll go over those in another video. But that's about it. I'm hoping to have these out by this coming weekend. The building pieces and everything. The main holdup with the building pieces is when you pick them up. So it still has the old model that's untextured when you break them. So it'll be more like the rest of my building pieces, where they just disappear. They make the noise, but they just disappear. For some reason, I don't know what they did when they created their destructible meshes, but I cannot get the textures to work on my destructible meshes. So when I created all the destructible meshes for all my pieces, when you break them apart, they all are untextured. So I'm not sure if they have an aftermarket package that they used or not. But anyway, so that's it. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. And I do appreciate donations. If you guys use the mod manager to install it, you'll see on the first page, when you first run it, there is a link for a PayPal account. I appreciate all the donations. Most of the stuff, I take the money and buy things from the Unreal Marketplace to help out with the mods. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.